Hey, and welcome to this week's Chamber Beat. I'm Ryan King with the Chamber, and we're here with two very special guests this week, Representative Jason Powell and Leader Jeff Yarbrough. They just actually finished a very heavy lift, a bill the Chamber has supported for a couple of years now, dealing with work share programs as they relate to unemployment. So, guys, congratulations. You've had a good week, still a little bit further to go, but through the committee process, and both of you are on the floor now, right?
That's right.
So tell us a little bit.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, I mean, this is something that really came to our attention during the pandemic, right? And we were talking with business owners who were trying to figure out how to best take care of long-term employees, but we're also facing the reality of those early days of the pandemic. And we realized that we didn't have a tool in Tennessee that numerous other states have, which is a work share system in our unemployment. And so worked with Representative Powell, and we came up with language to actually put Tennessee into that program, and feeling very excited about it and the options that it will give employers and the long-term benefit, which is to reduce unemployment in the state.
Right. And what's great about it is, hopefully we don't face another pandemic or a downturn, recession again. But even if there's, say, an industry that's suffering and needs to have the flexibility, and they want to keep their employees, but they want to, rather than eliminate positions, they can reduce the hours that their employees across the board are working, still keep everybody on with health benefits, everything else, and then when things return back to normal, they're ready, they can hit back full steam. And so I think it's a great thing to have here in our state. A lot of other states are doing this. We had a conference here of Southern legislators last summer. This is one of the forums that was held. And so, we were able to hear from some of the top experts across the country, really make sure that we had the best legislation possible in the nation. And so we're really excited about it, got it through the committee process and ready for the next steps.
I'm glad you point that out. So it's almost unheard of. Unanimous bipartisan support in both committees, House and Senate, and onto the floor in both chambers. Tell us a little bit about your strategy on the floor. We'll obviously be assisting with that to the extent we can, but you guys are the muscle behind it.
Right. So I'm fortunate on the House. I can speak. Our chairman of my committee, Chairman Vaughn, has been very supportive, working with me on legislation, has co-sponsored. So I think my intent is to have him up on the floor with me. He can talk personally about how he thinks it's important legislation, which is useful for committee members. Hoping to get more members to sign on as co-sponsors between now and the time we reach the floor. I've got to go through the Counter and Rules Committee, and then it'll be onto the floor. So that's my strategy, and hopefully we'll see. Jeff might be able to pass his side first, and that make it easier. Make it a little easier on me, but happy to talk about yours.
Look, I mean, I think you raise a good point. It's not all that common that bills actually go through in sort of a unanimous and bipartisan way, and we'll knock on wood that we keep going in that track here. I think the upside here is that when people have looked at the substance, they realize it's good, and I actually do want to thank the Chamber and the advocates here and other people in the business community who've reached out and made our job a lot easier, right? Obviously everyone always trusts Jason Powell and I when we bring legislation, but seriously, like, we do always want to make sure that we're bringing every voice to the table and making sure that people get a firm sense of what legislation does. And in this case, the bill sort of speaks for itself. It's a good enough idea. It's good enough for businesses, good enough for workers, and in the long run, just good enough for the state, that I think that we're going to keep seeing it move through successfully this year.
Right. And the thing is, it's one of those bills where you hope we don't have to use it. It's kind of strange to say, we want to put this and make this the law, but hopefully we don't have to take advantage of this. But if we do, and we know that the cycles are... economy is very cyclical, and so if we see another downturn or an industry that goes through hard times, this is a great option for businesses, and hopefully we'll look back and say we're glad we put this in the law, and this is great for Tennessee businesses, and we certainly appreciate the Chamber's support.
Thanks, Representative. As always, lots going on. Look down in the update for everything going on next week, including this issue, which should be on both floors next week. That's all we've got for this week. I'm Ryan King. This is the Chamber Beat.